So what did this move from LA to Atlanta bring up for you?
A big part of wanting to stay in California was the child support stuff. And, you know, for me, you know, if my child's father doesn't want to be around and all you're good for is money, well, then give me more of it.
Listen, I was out here minding my business out here on these content streets, and then the content gods resist, and they said to me, we gonna let you eat this shit, nigga. You gonna eat well. I said, which portion of content do you have for me here today? And then they presented me with this.
What are you feeling?
Anxious. I think the broader conversation is, I don't want anyone else telling my story. That actually sends me into orbit when I think that someone else is speaking for me. And it is also untrue. Because I'm okay with being a part of someone's story, but if we're going to tell the story, then let's tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God, right? I typically don't like to talk about stuff. I think that it's been really challenging growing through different phases so publicly. My energy is sacred. I treat it as such. So I try to protect myself. But it's like, I'm tired of silencing myself. And I find because of how I am too, I'm always wanting to protect people who quite literally would leave me for dead. I saw that he was speaking on our marriage. And he said that we met in 2014, which was untrue, and that we were still friends, like we were still cool. And even though some people might say like, well, he didn't say anything bad about you, but you didn't say the truth about the situation either. We're not friends. So if me and you aren't cool and I go on a platform and I say that we are, I'm trying to be funny. For me, that's what it comes off as. Like, you're trying to be funny. I think if you're not going to tell the truth, then just shut up. Be quiet.
Okay. Now, when I originally saw this, the first thing that I said to myself is, who is this brother right here? Run! Run! Get out of here! All right? I thought at first he was like a producer that was just helping her with her bullshit ass podcast, right? And trying to get talking points up out of it. Because it is wild to me to watch somebody, and we've seen so much of the clips.
In my car where I was talking about how I had sex with, was it 3 men in a day? Yes. And then I ended up getting a yeast infection. Yes. I came out pretty unscathed for just a yeast infection. Right. Considering what I could have gotten. Right.
But did you think
I think about the ramifications of telling people that I had sex with multiple men? Yes, I don't care. It's the truth. If you don't see me as a potential dating person, then great, one less heart to break. Leave me alone. My experience, the worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, I mean, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really dumb.
So much of the content, the baby mama situation, sitting in the car talking about running game and plays on athletes for money, right? The years of content of her being naked online, showing her areola, literally her whole breasts and shit within content, all of that shit. And to watch her over here like, I just like to just protect my peace. And right, like, it's just so much bullshit. This is what you call a professional revisionist historian. All they do is that they'll make up their background, right? Because they don't want to face the reality of the decisions or the choices that they've made. But what they'll do is that they'll be talking to a new sucker who just doesn't understand where she comes from or the foundation of the way that she thinks about things. And it completely manipulates him into this new aura, right? Like the chick has changed religions, like, right, like. So then I came to find out that the young man has chosen to be in a relationship with her, okay? Take a look at this photo. That looks like him to me. Now, I instantly want to find out more about who the brave young man is, right? Or like ignoring of history of young man that this is. And that clip was actually from something that is behind a paywall. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to go over to Flacco's channel because apparently he has paid the money in order to look at the content and he's already transformed it. So we're going to commentate off of Flacco's work. Shout out to Flacco. He's a lot younger than me. Okay. He can put himself through the pain and arduous content that I can simply not. So we will commentate off of his work. Without further ado,
Brittany Renner's podcast is the most ridiculous thing I've ever witnessed in my life. Every new episode is 1,000% worse than the last one. On this new episode, Brittany Renner revealed that she's now a devoted, born-again Christian. And the episode started off with a prayer from her and this new guy that she's been dating for about a month now.
Amen.
What I want to add. Okay. God, please guide our voices.
she's Christian now.
Let nothing that we've been through be in vain, and that whoever needs to hear, whatever needs to be shared through us, through the wisdom that you've gifted us, please use us, speak through us, and may our voices, may this video reach the people that need it the most. You know our intentions, cleanse our hearts, purify whatever feelings that are coming up, so we can convey whatever messages you would like to use through us. Protect us through this process and just guide us. In Jesus' name, amen.
In Jesus' name.
That's not. If a guy is willing to accept her scraps and is a Satanist, she gonna be a Satanist, right? If he's atheist, she gonna be an atheist, right? Like she's going to chameleon herself to whatever the situation is in order to earn or to gain or to advance in whatever her quest is. This is what Delilahs do, right? This is what they do. They will transition themselves wholly, fully, and completely. And it won't just be a half step in a different direction. It'll be a complete switch into something in order to enact their next stage of predation. Let's go.
Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. At least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free. That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now.
Wasn't she just
She's just-
Alhamdulillah, Assalamu
She was.
Allahu Akbar. When I originally joined Instagram July of 2012, I joined for two reasons.
This is like 8 months ago.
And male attention. And now that I no longer need either of those things, I am
Switching my
developing
grift.
a new relationship with just social media itself. So my posting has been a bit inconsistent. I've been Muslim for 5 months and I love it here.
Brittany, if you don't stop playing with these
This is
folks'
so
religion, bro, God
right.
is going to bring his wrath. What's even more confusing, on the first episode of her podcast, Brittany Renner announced that she's no longer religious because she felt like religion was holding her back.
Am more than what I am portraying. Feel like I'm more than this. That was the initial thought, the initial spark. And then it rolled into being drawn to Islam, Pacific Ocean. I know that I'm more than this. How do I get out of this? Because I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills if I'm not doing what I've always done. And it's kind of like being a drug dealer. You're like, I'm used to this type of money.
She openly admits that religion and Islam was a way to get people to
And now
stop
she's
talking about
Christian.
it negatively. But then ultimately she couldn't make any money, right, with not being able to dress promiscuously. So now she's back dressing promiscuously and online making money. And, you know, religion was a thing of the past. And then literally a week later, she's talking about Jesus, amen. This chick has some severe
She's
issues.
crazy.
But the prayer and the religious part wasn't even like the most bizarre, weirdest part of this video. It was her relationship dynamic with this random dude she brought.
Okay.
So Buddy doesn't
before we get into the random dude, you know, As you begin to watch like the anthology of what it is that her life is turning into and what it is that she is represent and what it is that she claims that she has fought for, you begin to understand how utterly pathetic that this is. This is a young lady that, 10, 15 years ago, whenever it is that she started her journey, right? Like she's showing all this skin, this body, this ass. She's riding off of this feminist girl boss. I get it how I live, right? This is my truth, right? My grandmother is superhead, right? And I'm writing books just like her. And you've slowly watched her life materialize away from that lie to her wanting to be into relationships. You've watched her life dematerialize into becoming a single mother, not married, right? And she's now ping-ponging herself left, right, up, down in order to create this new version of herself because she never really found herself. This is a young woman that thought that she was empowered by living her life by the city girl street code, but that life ended up eating her up, chewing it loudly, and spitting her back out. The world owes you nothing, and the game don't owe you no damn favors. And for all of the young girls that looked up to this and modeled this behavior, look at the way that her life is turning out versus the way that I hope that you guys live your life, which is anything but this, the antithesis of what she represents. I want you to have a good life. I want you to build strong families. I want you to end up with a masculine man that is worth his weight in salt, not ping pong your way around as your body gets used and abused by men who never gave a shit about you. And now the inner demons, the trauma, and the turmoil is manifesting itself, since y'all like that word, they're manifesting itself into this outcome. Let's proceed.
Deuce himself doesn't give us his name. The only time during this podcast he labeled himself was when he calls himself the stepfather to Brittany Renner's child.
Oh,
I appreciate even you letting me, I appreciate you letting me in with your son, and being able to be a stepfather,
Okay.
someone to, care for him in ways that people didn't believe they would for you, So I really appreciate that. And that takes a lot of trust to even open up like that, So I commend you for that.
She couldn't have known this guy for more than a month. Wasn't she just with Kevin Gates? She couldn't have known this guy for more than a month or two. They're not married, but yet he's calling himself the stepfather to her son, as if the boy don't already have an active and devoted father. This man, PJ Washington, is one of the most active fathers you would ever see. Like, he literally cried because he couldn't see his son for like 2 weeks. Like, that's how devoted this man is. Like, that's how active this man is in his son's life. So why are you calling yourself a stepfather? Why are you even considering yourself a part of this kid's life? You've known this chick for about 2 months. You are just the dude who's laying pipe on Brittany Renner at the moment, bruh. You are not this kid's stepfather. He got an active father who has him 50% of the time, who's pushing to have him full time. This man tells Brittany Renner, a woman he's only known for about a month or two, he's so happy that, she has honored him to be a stepfather. I never see anybody in life, tell a woman that they've known for that brief amount of time, they're so happy and honored to be bestowed upon the title of stepfather. Like, cut it out, man. Now, a red flag.
See, I disagree a bit with Flocka right here. I've definitely seen this before, and it is one of the many reasons that I continue to have this channel, because images that will hit young men's eyes and dictating to them how weak that they are for not wanting to create a family on their own, that how dare you not accept her because she's created something previously, right? Like, these are all thoughts and image, and it's less so right now because of platforms like myself, because we do talk about this and speak out against it. Now, within this, I've already said that if you are a man and you already are a father, and let's say that you are a single father, I think that you should be more apt or able to date a woman with children. Do I think that you still should? No. However, it makes more sense. What I think is actually happening here is a combination of two different things, right? You have to think about it in the sense of the incentivization. Let's say that they knew each other for 3 months. She's already including him in the damn content. Why? What would be the reason for this? On his side of the coin, he's going to say and do whatever that she wants because the viscous inner's got that man in a chokehold. All right. It's peak simp white knight mentality. She couldn't do this to a Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates wouldn't even be on her page like that. But she can do it to him, right? And this is the incentivization for her, is because she needs a placeholder of what her success in the dating game or relationship game looks like. And for her, it is a win to demonstrate a man that not only allows being a public figure via her page, but is a lot more understanding and softer with his communication and grateful for her time, right? Like, she needs a man in position that talks about her and to her, lifting her up, because it is validating, right? To demonstrate that, hey, listen, what everyone's saying about me is not true. It's all performative at the end of the day. Both have a reason. And if it wasn't performative, then why are they performing in front of a camera? Keep the relationship behind scenes. But thanks for the content.
Pops up during this episode. So apparently dude has a child of his own that he's not allowed to see.
What?
So that's why he feels honored that he gets to still be a father to Brittany Renner's son, because his own kid, apparently he can't see his kid, and he's not allowed to be in the kid's life due to the baby mama drama.
What?
You know, I have trouble with my daughter and seeing her at the moment, and it hurts me every day. But seeing y'all together, it makes me feel better, you know? It makes me feel like we have something, you know? Like I said, I wish she was here every day. But unfortunately, I got baby mama issues, you know?
Oh, no.
And you got baby daddy issues.
Yeah.
But we're
Caused by
handling
her.
this together. And one thing I would just encourage anybody to do is
watch.
This is
her
truly
old
one of the
content.
saddest things I've witnessed.
And I would encourage you to watch the old right? Like, as a man, if you watch the content of PJ walking up to that door and watching Brittany and her mom do everything in their power to not only negatively excite the child, but also to do anything in their power to get PJ to cross the line on tape. Meanwhile, you are a man that claims that you have your own baby mama issues. Watching Brittany perform in that way, right? A couple of weeks before PJ was signing a new contract to conflict with his contract. Meanwhile, you are potentially going through things with your own baby mama that is similar to what Brittany does, but you cannot see the forest beyond the viscous inner trees. This is absurd, man. The psychology of this is incredible.
Podcast. Brittany Renner clearly sees this dude as a lick.
I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, no. Run, brother.
So what did this move from LA to Atlanta bring up for you?
She's
He
in Atlanta?
inquires what went into her decision to leave LA and move to Atlanta and move
Probably
in with
cheaper
him.
cost of
Now,
living.
he's expecting some type of
And I said
lovey-dovey answer. But credit to Brittany Renner, she's a straight shooter,
Yeah,
man.
she's
She's
good.
at least honest with this fool.
Okay.
She tells him, man, the only reason why I'm moving here with you
Where's the
is
kid
because
then?
I was unsuccessful in finessing my baby daddy for more child support in LA. Right? I
Oh.
was drowning in LA. I couldn't get more child support no matter how much I tried with these lawyers. So now I'm moving to Atlanta. And he's sitting there and taking it like an absolute clown.
I mean, like, how deep do we want to go in this question? Because I can pass it right now.
Oh,
but
no.
It's your feeling.
I.E., give me more time to think, baby. I didn't know you was going to hit me with that.
It's your.
I also feel like a big part of wanting
Here
to stay in California
here comes
was
the
the
game.
child support stuff. And, you know, for me, you know, if my child's father doesn't want to be around
Mhm.
and all you're good for is money, well, then give me more of it. Give us more of it so at least we can have a good life since you're not going to be involved.
So Brittany Renner, 33-year-old old ass, took her baby daddy to court and said with a straight face that $5,500 in child support a month is not enough.
Well-
and she needs $35,000 a month for their 4-year-old son. What do a 4-year-old son need with $35,000 a month?
Bro,
With $5,500 a month, you telling me you can't get a nice place in LA? And God forbid, you also make $5,000 a month, which is $60K a year. You telling me with 1 million followers, you can't make $60K a year? So if you add up your $5,500, and God forbid you do your half as well and bring $5,000, that's about 10 bands a month, and $5,500 of that is untaxed.
Right.
So you mean to tell me that?
Let me be clear about what's pathetic here. It's pathetic that she would admit this, right? As if PJ as a father is, as good as he is as an ATM. So irrespective of receiving enough money to raise a child, give me that $35,000. I will stay here for $35,000 a month because now you're impacting my lifestyle. Now I get to live the value of the worth that I think that I am. This is child support, ma'am. This is not lifestyle support. And I have no sympathy for her because we've watched her, we've listened to her talk about how she wants to get licks off of pro athletes. Well, doesn't look like that lick turned out well for you, did it?
And you can't provide for a 4-year-old on $120,000 a year?
Yo.
But she was living out of her means, and she tried to finesse the dude for that child support. God is a mighty God, because one of the reasons why Brittany Renner wanted the child support increase is because she was jealous of what PJ Washington was doing for his new girlfriend. Like, when he came to pick up his son, she was screaming about how PJ Washington was buying his new girlfriend a $170,000 car, and where is his son $170,000. So she was jealous that, the new girlfriend and, the new fiance or new wife at this point, because I think they're married, the new wife was getting special treatment that she wasn't getting, that comes with being with PJ Washington, right? But she was getting the child support. So because she's jealous of what the new wife was getting, that's why she requested, like the increase in child support.
Okay, hold on, pause. This is what we're not doing. So every time that he does this, I'm gonna record this. Because that's not okay. I'm just letting you know. No, the thing is, this is the third time he's done it.
Walk away, bro. Walk away, bro.
He doesn't want to go with you. So actually show up and do something then with him. Because he does this every time. No, it's not. No, it's not. It ain't because anybody babies him. You gonna give him his bag and stuff?
That's terrible.
Keep walking, bro.
3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, no, it's not that at all. No, it's not. No, yeah, I will. But I'm telling you right now, every single time you come here and he cries, we're gonna record that. And it's up with me. Just know that it's up.
What'd you say?
I'd love to.
What'd you say?
I didn't stutter.
I didn't hear you say it again.
Suck my d.
If you had one, maybe I would. Pussy ass.
This is the mama.
What the fuck you looking at? Get your out my driveway, ho.
You don't pay for shit either. $170,000 to your hoe
With $11,000 in your son's bank account. $11,000 in your son's bank account, but $170 of that.
He shouldn't have let the windshield
They
down.
pocket watching like hell. They knew how much money the wife got recently down to the cent. Now, a 3-year...
Listen, and that's the mama speaking, all right? Abba ain't gonna fall too far from the damn tree, okay? The mama talking like that. You think Brittany gonna talk to you any differently? Right? If her, right, your back's up against the wall, all right? You down and you out. Or you are not doing for her what she thinks that she is owed. You don't think that her mouth is gonna get that violent? She's watched her whole life, her mom's mouth be that violent towards other men. That's what she's learned. That's her foundation. And this all right here was a plan. It was a jukes. It was a setup. The cameras were ready, and they were about that action to be as performative as what they possibly can.
Having $11,000 in his account is a W, and she's getting $5,500 a month in child support on top of that. That's a W. But Brittany Renner was jealous that the wife was getting a lot of money that she wasn't getting, so she tried to get the increase in child support. And then she told the dude sitting there, hey, bro, if I would have gotten this, man, I wouldn't have been here. I'm sorry. I wouldn't have been sitting here doing this with you. I was like, I would have been back in L.A. And she kept it honest, but she did try to mask it up a little bit, try to let him know, oh, she stopped, like she stopped the hunt for the child support. She stopped the hunt because every legal avenue she took got struck down. But she tried to make it seem as if she voluntarily stopped. You voluntarily stopped because you realized there was no point in moving forward, right? Like, she'll even admit that her friends gave her bad advice.
You know, he hasn't seen his son since May 7th, 2025. 2 weeks out of 2025, the year. So a lot of people don't understand. Well, it's like, if I can't get you to care about something that you co-created, then I might as well hit you where I guess it seemingly would hurt you, the only thing you care about, which is money. So, bringing it full circle, my hearing for that was March 20th. I never needed the money to be happy. And it was understanding that my son doesn't care about that. And at that point, if I'm trying to create this lifestyle for him, I'm creating on someone else's dime. And that's also a false sense of security, reality. And so I think for me, it was, I don't need this to be happy. My son doesn't need a perfect mom. He just needs a happy mom. And I'm financially drowning in California right now. So I felt like I was kind of even accepting defeat. Like, try to get an attorney, try to fight, try to give my son the lifestyle that would be similar to what his other siblings are living. And it's just like, I don't know, my son doesn't. He's a pretty simple guy, like simple things. He likes going outside. He likes dinosaurs. He likes going on adventures. So I think for me, it was just death to the war. The war, really.
Well, one thing I want to address is that this wasn't your idea to even go after that money.
As a mom, I felt like I was failing my son. And then there are other girls like her, like another girl that I was friends with, that were like, why aren't you doing this thing? We're all getting $15,000 a month and up. Like, if you really cared about your son, you would go file for him. And so it made me feel like I wasn't doing my job as a mom.
And all these girls ain't doing shit.
Right, and they're still fucking their baby daddies.
And then she starts talking trash about the women who genuinely try to help her by telling her, go after child support. Yo, this chick is crazy. But the humiliation ritual doesn't stop here. Right? So outside of talking about this, she moves on to talking about Kevin Gates and her marriage to Kevin Gates.
Oh, no.
And you could see this dude's reaction. Like, he is visibly upset. Like, he don't even want to, like, consider that she was ever married. Like, he tries to discredit the marriage with Kevin Gates as a fake marriage. But then she corrects him, like, nah, it was a real marriage. It was through Islam. If you're happily married, if you're moved on to the stepdaddy of the year who stepped up when you needed him, why are you still being affected emotionally by Kevin Gates and your exes? Why are you on a podcast talking about your ex relationships?
Well, because his name echoes in every chamber in her heart, right? Like that, and that ain't gonna stop no time soon. The terminology of that is alpha widow, by the way. Hopefully the young brother before us understands that terminology and also its implication on her mindset. She thought she had one there, and to the extent of transitioning religions. But also, this is also why I tell to my G's is that, irrespective of the relationship that you had growing up with your father, you should always get the story from then before giving an official verdict, because there's always two sides to the same story, and in fact 3, because then the truth is going to be somewhere in the middle. Let's just say back in 2025 that he only saw his son twice. Let's just say, irrespective of, her being incentivized to lie, let's just say that that is true. What's then left out of that equation is the difficulty that she created in being able to see him. If PJ is in Dallas and she's in LA, right, and now she's in Atlanta, does location change have an impact on that? Does looking at the video of her and her mom acting crazy have an impact on that? What else is being done off camera in order to create obstacles from the father building a relationship with the son? Lord only knows that if she's willing to take the strategy from preposterous women that admit to using their baby fathers for their wallet, and then within the same interview, sullies their name in the way that she just did. We call this cannibalizing your own. Then more than likely, in being a baby mom, she will also take their advice as well. Then more than likely, as a mother, in interaction with the baby dad, she will take their scandalous advice as well. But let's hear more about this Gates conversation.
Married for 52 days.
Was it marriage?
It's an Islamic marriage, I guess.
Where's the papers? Where's the papers?
No papers, just before Allah.
So no papers, huh?
No papers.
Okay.
No papers.
So he's trying to say it's not
52
official.
days. And I saw that Kevin had interviewed with Shannon Sharp, which I have been on Shannon's pod before, I think back in 2023. And I saw that he was speaking on our marriage. And he said that we met in 2014, which was untrue, and that we were still friends, like we were still cool. And even though some people might say, like, well, he didn't say anything bad about you, but you didn't say the truth about the situation either. We're not friends. So if me and you aren't cool and I go on a platform and I say that we are, I'm trying to be funny. For me, that's what it comes off as. Like, you're trying to be funny. And
What?
So Kevin Gates was asked about her in his Shannon Sharp interview, and he told Shannon Sharp, it's all love. We got no issues. We're still cool.
Okay.
And that response is what she thought was him trying to be funny. So apparently that warranted her doing an entire podcast about Kevin Gates, which obviously she was just looking for a reason to talk about Kevin Gates.
Alpha Widow.
And Stepdaddy of the Year just sat there and took all the humiliation. This is just absurd, bro. At this point, bro, this podcast... I call this podcast the worst podcast ever. At this point, this podcast might be the best podcast ever, right? This podcast is a content gift that just keep on giving.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Y'all let me know.
Listen, shout out to Flacco. Listen, my man over here doing the journalistic work, right? So we don't have to watch the content, yet we can still watch the humiliation ritual. But let's continue to utilize this as a means of becoming more wise of what not to dip your wick up in. Do not become what the young man before us has become, seemingly desperate for the harpy cooch. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the content as facilitated here today, because I know that I did. Shout out to today's sponsor, Aura. Guys, take your private information off of these public websites. Aura is who I trust to get that done for me. There's too many scammers out here that is accessing your information, being bought by these data brokers that are doing unsavory things with your information. Click the link down in the description box down below to access 2 weeks free to at least see if your private information has been exposed. All right. And I'll end off in saying this. Men will lose the wisdom within the moment at the point that they value facial aesthetics and the thickness of hamstrings over standards, sympathy over discernment, attraction over outcomes or discipline. All right? Because a disciplined man does not do business with chaos and drama. He disqualifies it by any means necessary. All right. So I leave you guys with those words as you continue out on your journeys here today. I appreciate you guys for always coming back, for always rocking with me. Shout out to Flacco yet again for doing the Lord's work. And until next time, peace.
So without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound when it's MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.